Dynamic on-screen presence, coupled with an audience empathy that cuts across all cultural boundaries, have resulted in his film shattering box office records. Producers the world over have come to see in Lee the key that will unlock the door to the future of the industry.
Okay, so what you're hearing now is the PSP7 going into VO audio port, into the electronic voice phenomena audio recorder that records and repeats. So there's 1 second delay between 1 to 5 second delay. And we're going to ask, is Bruce Lee here? Because the other day I seen Bruce Lee's ghost, and that's why I'm doing this session. I want to find out why he appeared to me. If it was him at all. Because it did not look like my imagination. It was real as a real person.
3 cameras running right now, and one camera is seeing things in the same way that our eyes see them. We have 2 other full spectrum cameras that see outside of our range of what we see. And this is an example of things that we potentially can't see and are very much real. If we shoot that. So in the full spectrum cameras, you can see a beam traveling right in front of me right now that's powerful enough to light this piece of wood on fire. The other camera, the typical camera that sees what our eyes see, basically is invisible. So I can't see this beam at all, even without the glasses on. I can't see a thing that's happening in front of me.
Your open-mindedness is cool, but it doesn't change anything. I don't believe in system, Mr. Longstreet, nor in method. And without system, without method, what's to teach?
But you had to learn. You weren't born knowing how to take apart 3 men in a matter of seconds.
True, but I found the cause of my ignorance.
Well, help me find mine.
Hello. Are you Bruce Lee? If you're Bruce Lee, can you talk into this radio here? It'll pick up your voice. Hello? Can you say something? Okay, let's switch the audio ports here. Are you Bruce Lee? Do you want to be heard? As you can see, the PSP7 Spirit Box is going to the EVP record.
Tonight at 10, are the dead reaching out to us? Believers say yes.
It's real.
Are the voices of the dead all around you? See what we find when we investigate. Tonight, only on 11 News at 10.
Could a simple tape recorder be the medium between the living and the dead? It's the focus of a new film, and it's been debated for decades. Regardless of what you believe, tonight's Up Close is generating a lot of noise. Here's 11 News reporter Jeremy Diesel.
It is hard not to notice. We are surrounded by sound, even when it may seem silent.
White noise, or simply the ambient atmospheric noise.
It's always out there.
That's always there, yes. Accumulation of all noises.
In a recording, it sounds like this. But if you listen closely, you might hear something else. Richard Smith does, with the help of his small voice recorder.
And now I'm going.
1995 at Radio Shack. And a little white noise. He hears dead people.
You hear her saying, "Help me."
And he hears them everywhere. Smith says there are 3 types of electronic voice phenomena, or EVP, and they're classified by clarity. They're captured by simply walking around with a tape recorder and asking questions. Spirit voices transmitted by energy left on the tape.
We turned on the recorders and asked for her to speak, and apparently her name was Chris or Christina. She says, "Chris is here." This is the word Chris is here.
Some need a little help. Filtered and cleaned up. Some even appear to answer questions.
Why were the children crying?
Richard Smith understands the skepticism, but he does this seeking answers to the big questions. Why are we here?
I notice some people don't want to know the answers to these questions, but I do.
And with every EVP, he gets a little bit closer. Jeremy Diesel, 11 News.
Recorder, which records and repeats. So it's turn down the volume a bit. Bruce Lee, is this you? Did you hear that? He said, it is. Now, the only bad situation about this EVP recorder, it repeats it very quickly. Repeats it very quickly and fast forward speed, so it sounds like a chipmunk. So you can't really make out his voice, but we'll try. Bruce Lee, is this you? If it is you, say yes. Did you hear that? He said yes. Bruce Lee, why did you... Bruce Lee, why did you appear to me the other day?
So this is Michelle walking in from the right, in between these 2 trees. Now the gentleman that just stepped out from the left-hand side and crossed through her was not there.
Nor did I see him, and I was calling out his name, and his name is Amos, and I was saying, Amos, are you there? Can you come talk to us? And I'm kind of looking down, and I'm looking around, and I put my hand up because he's focusing the camera on me, and that's what I was doing. I did not feel him for a second. Had no idea that he was there.
Wearing the old hat.
Yes.
That just gave me chills.
Well,
we feel like he lived in the 20s. Let's run it again. You can see the greenery and whatnot.
Just one quick safety message before we go. If you're using a great big giant laser like you saw in the beginning with the burning the wood and whatnot, and Michelle sends you a text and you momentarily lose focus, this could happen.
That can happen. It's dangerous sometimes. At the last.
Turn up the volume. Are you Bruce Lee? If you are, can you count to 5 and say yes? Do you hear that? 1, 2, 3. In singing, 3, 4, 5. Are you really Bruce Lee? Or someone else? Do you hear that? He said ni hao. I think that's Chinese, I think. I'm not sure. Bruce Lee, can you say something that... Something about helping? Bruce Lee, why did you appear to me? Do you need the help from the living? Because you looked fine to me.
With such power now at his disposal, Lee could easily choose to rest on his laurels and play it safe by making the kind of formula pictures that are now being offered him on a daily basis. But the very notion of formulas and methods hold no appeal whatsoever for this young man. Instead, Lee is presently in the midst of filming The Game of Death. Nothing is rehearsed, no punches are pulled, and full-contact, reality-based martial art is the order of the day. In 1967, Lee introduces the concept of full-contact sparring at the International Karate Tournament in Long Beach, California. Defense is not emphasized in his new reality-based method, as this would be allowing one's opponent to set the tone and tempo in a real fight. Instead, the focus of Lee's new approach to combat is on attack, or more precisely, on intercepting the opponent's attack with an attack of one's own.
Bruce was an iconoclast and a rebel in that he thought that the traditional martial arts were way too bound by tradition. People who were not really that effective at martial arts really were not promoting martial arts, but their own nationalistic brand of martial arts and their view of the world, more so than a realistic martial art fighting system. And he wanted to get to the pure essence of the art.
Eliminate an opponent several feet back from a punch he delivers from only 1 inch away. And his sidekicks have so much power that, in the words of one recipient, they feel like being hit by a car. Leaves Lee virtually bedridden for a period of 6 months. His doctors tell him he may never be able to kick again.
For Bruce to be lying down in bed 24 hours a day for approximately about 6 months was an impossible thought. You know, you cannot contain him like that. But he did, because he knew that if there were any future, even to walk normally, he would need to give this time to heal. So he spent a great deal of time resting flat on his back for quite a long time, and then also, you know, just sitting in a chair. But he was not one to just waste time.
You know, because they have their own doctrines, and then the doctrine became the gospel truth, you know, that you cannot change, you know. But if you do not have styles, if you just say, well, here I am, you know, as a human being, how can I express myself totally and completely?
Then it's just two people who are being aware of their own movements, who are observing the other person's movements and being able to fit in with that person's movements, so that there's no set pattern of movements, no, well, when he does this, then I do this. It's just a total freedom to react to what the other person does. In fact, Bruce inscribes it perfectly on the back of this medallion.